Jeff again, the Valhalla Ventures, ReiguideService.com, ReiguideService.com. Let me tell you who I really am, because I want to make sure that I'm abundantly clear that just because I have videos that I'm making where I try to sound like I'm a professional or whatever, and I have this professional tone of voice, and I take the time to explain things, so on and so forth, none of that means that I don't have the ability to be unprofessional, to be degrading, to get down to their level. You need to sometimes be aggressive in this business. And it's not even as important to be aggressive as it is to know that you have the ability to be aggressive. You know, typically people that are aggressive in any situation aren't really confident and aren't really sure of themselves, right? That's why they're aggressive. They're trying to compensate for the lacking of ability. If you challenge them on something, immediately they become aggressive. If you question them on something, they immediately become aggressive. If you, good-looking car that distracted me. You need to be willing to be aggressive, but not wanting to be aggressive. That doesn't need to be your card. That doesn't need to be your go-to. Because being aggressive just for being aggressive doesn't solve anything. And it makes you look weak, and it makes you look incompetent. So I think that knowing what you're talking about and being willing to defend the things that you're talking about, that you know for sure, 100%, that you know what you're talking about, you should be willing to be aggressive and challenge people's ideas, and be willing to push at whatever level they're pushing. If you have someone that's trying to get you to pay for something, you absolutely are positive you shouldn't pay for it, because you've not just that you know, but that before you've responded, you've done the research and you've triple checked, and then you've gone back and politely tried to correct them with an information that you had, and then they're still rude and aggressive and pushy and threatening and all that. You have to be willing to be aggressive, whether it's in the defense of what it is that you believe, the truth. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be obnoxious. You have to be aggressive. You have to be confident. And you have to be willing to push back. You can't just allow aggressive people to run over you and talk over you. And that doesn't progress things forward in the business world. So you need to figure out the balance. And I'm in all things, I'm pretty confident in pretty much everything that I talk about, except for this one topic particularly. And frankly, it's because I'm not 100% sure what that balance is. It's something that I'm constantly still working on, where I now don't get aggressive first with anybody ever. I don't let people push me around, and sometimes they take me not being pushed around as aggressive, and that's fine. And then they'll take it up a level, and then I'll take it up a level, and then they'll take it up a level. And, at some point, most of the time, the person that is advancing that and going higher and higher and higher to advance the aggressiveness, the tension, the tone, and all that stuff, most of the time when they're doing that, they're wrong, and they're defensive. And it can be a good thing to allow them to go too far. And, sometimes it's a good thing just to nip it in the bud and let them be right on something that's silly. So every situation is different, and it's the balance of finding what best works for not only you, but your personality, but also getting the results. Because if you're just aggressive for the point of being aggressive, or you're just passive for the point of being passive, that's not solving anything. It's what you're doing and how you behave in the professional world. I'm not saying that it should be a false tactic, but it definitely needs to be something that you've thought out. Is it something you can back up? If you're going to be aggressive and say silly stuff to people that's just not true, and you try to defend it, I mean, eventually the truth's going to come out, right? And so you're going to wind up looking silly in the end. Just need to make sure that you're not getting run over, you're not allowing people to take advantage of you, but also making sure that you're not ultimately hurting yourself in the end because you're saying things that are ridiculous. All right? Be blessed. Bless others. I hope this helps in some way. I'm gonna have to watch it back. I'm not even post it. I was kind of paying attention to driving more than I was paying attention to what I was saying. So I hope that made sense. We'll talk to you later. Go visit my stuff.